This is lesson 39 of the Quantum Mechanics, a mini lecture series, part 4, rules of differentiation. So I'm going to talk about the quotient rule in this video. So the quotient rule states the following. I'll explain this in just a second. So taking g of x and h of x as functions, and then ensuring that h isn't equal to 0, this rule tells you that in order to take the derivative of a quotient, in other words, the division of two quantities, in this case two functions, you need to use what's called the product rule, and then divide the result by the square of the denominator of the quotient. So let me show you how it's done. So suppose you have 4x minus 2 divided by x squared plus 1. So let's take g of x to be 4x minus 2, in other words, the numerator. And let's take h of x to be the denominator, x squared plus 1. So let's use the rule at the top. So the rule at the top tells you to find the derivative of this. Let's call it f of x. The top bit tells you, so you take the derivative of g of x, which is just, so g of x here, the derivative of that is just 4, okay, because the derivative of a number is 0. The derivative of 4x is, so 4x to the 1, take the down 1, so you have 4 times 1, x, and then x to the 0. X to the 0 is 1, so you have 4. And derivative of h of x is just 2x, right? So bring the 2 down, reduce the power by 1, which is just 1. So f dash x is equal to g of x. Worked it out, let's see, it's 4. 4. H of x is x squared plus 1, as we defined it, minus g of x, which is just 4x minus 2, making sure to put parentheses. And h dash of x is just 2x multiplied by 2x divided by h of x squared, which is just x squared plus 1 squared. Okay, you can leave it like that. That's the derivative of a function involving a quotient. So try these out as an exercise. Y plus 10 divided by 2y cubed minus plus 10. I'm leaving out the f of x because I'm a bit sloppy. Okay, but you get the idea, I'm sure. Try out this as well. I should say f of y in this case. F of d is 50d plus 50 divided by d minus 10. That's the quotient rule. There's another rule, it's called the derivative of an exponential function. So suppose you've got an exponential function, a, b to the x dash. Differentiate it, you do this, b to the x. Okay, it's sort of similar to what we did before, the constant factor rule. Suppose you have f of x is equal to e of x, the exponential function. To differentiate it, you simply take down the coefficient of x, which is just 1 in this case, stick it out the front of the e. And now, since anything times 1 is just the same thing, we simply get, and we keep the x there, of course, the power, e to the x. Okay, but if you have a number at the front, let's say you have f of x is equal to 2 e to the 2x, what you do to find the derivative, you just bring down the 2, the power of the coefficient of x, bring the 2 down, so you have 2 times 2, e to the 2x, keep the 2x as it is. So 2 times 2 is 4, you're left with 4e to the 2x. Okay, so you take the derivative of an exponential. Just as an exercise, try these out. Find the derivative of the following. Okay, it's the same idea. And that's how you do it. That's how you do the derivative of an exponential and derivative of a quotient.